Hello, in this video we're going to continue our discussion of solving inequalities with one variable. We're going to go into solving two-step inequalities now. So given an inequality like this, again it's the same thing as if it were an equation. We're going to add 4 to both sides, leaving us with 7h is less than or equal to 28. We're going to divide 7, both sides by 7. Giving us h is less than or equal to 4. And then we're going to go ahead and graph it. Again, your graphs don't have to be too detailed. Just I want to see 2 numbers labeled and then your point. In this case, closed circle, shading left because it's less than. Alright. Keep in mind in this equation you could have divided by 7 first, but remember when you're using multiplication and division you have to divide everything by 7. The reason I don't do that first is that if you divide everything by 7, now we got to deal with fractions, right? Our next step will look like this, which is doable. It's just a lot of people would like to avoid fractions if possible. So that's why we don't do it. Also, a lot of times people forget to divide this term by 7 and then they get the answer wrong. Alright, moving on to this problem. Isolating x means we're going to subtract 5 from both sides, leaving us with 6x is greater than or equal to 2. And now we're going to divide both sides by 6, leaving us with x is greater than or equal to 2/6, which reduces to 1/3. Graphing that, one way you could do this is to show a 0 and a 1 and put the 1/3 right here, something like that. It's going to be a closed circle, shading to the right because it's greater than 1/3. Alright, next one. We're going to add 9 to both sides first, leaving us with z over 3 less than 2. Now we multiply both sides by 3. The reason we do that is it cancels out those, leaving us with z, which is what we want, and 6 on the other side. Graphing that, we've got a 6, and we want to go show less than 6. Now this is an open circle because 6 is not part of the answer, but it is the boundary. Because 5.99999 is an answer. Next one, 5t plus 4 greater than or equal to 4. I'm going to subtract 4 first, leaving us with 5t greater than or equal to 0. Now we're going to divide both sides by 5. Don't be concerned with the 0, it still works. 0 divided by 5 is 0. And we're going to graph that. It's going to be a closed circle at 0. I'm going to put another point on here just for the heck of it. And we're going greater. Alright, last one. We're going to start by subtracting 3 from both sides, leaving us with negative 4/5 m less than or equal to 4. Okay, here's where we have to remember. We want to divide both sides by negative 4/5, right? So two things are going to happen here. First of all, we know that dividing by a fraction is really the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So what we really want to do is multiply by the reciprocal of 5 over 4, right? So it's really like this. Negative, of course. And the reason for that is we can get rid of the 4s and the 5s. So again, you don't want to actually do a division by 4/5, but really we want to do that multiplication by negative 5/4. And so we end up with m over here, because the 4s go away, the 5s go away, the negatives times negative is positive. And then over here we have the 4s going away, leaving a negative 5. Now, if you remember from last video, when we're multiplying both sides of an inequality with a negative number, or dividing with a negative number, we do need to change the direction. So do not forget to do that. Usually when people are out of practice, they forget something like that. And the graphing of it is simple, right? We have a -5 there, 0. Close circle at -5, and it's greater than. Alright, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.